east of the Rockies. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hello. Where are you, sir?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Right.
I live in a small farm town, and I'm currently writing a book based on my findings.
A book?
A book.
All right.
Actually, it all began when my grandfather was preparing to pass away back in 1990.
Preparing to pass away? You mean he knew he was going to die, and so...
Well, yeah, he was living in an old folks' home, and he had cancer that had pretty much eaten away at most of his body.
I hear you.
And pretty much most of the things that he said people just took as erratic rambling. But during his, I guess, last month or so, I spent a lot of time with him. And he used to be chief in the small farm town that I live in. And when I say small, I mean...
what do you mean chief? You mean police chief?
Chief of police.
All right.
And when I say small, I mean really small. Anyway, you have to forgive me because I'm scared to death just talking to you right now.
Don't worry about it.
He was telling me about an instance. He would lay on his bed and he would say, "All the children are dead."
All the children are dead.
All the children are dead.
Uh-huh.
And he looked at me and he said, "Do you believe in monsters? Do you believe in demons?" And kind of I just thought, well, he's probably getting ready to pass over and he's scared. He's questioning his own mortality. He's wondering where he's going from here.
Makes sense.
And then he began a story that began in 1966. When in the small town that I live in, there were 74 children murdered over a summer.
Oh.
At first, they were missing. I guess it would be wrong to say that they were murdered immediately. They were missing, one right after another. It soon got to the point where parents were not letting their children go out to play at nighttime.
That would occur very quickly. I mean, 74 children in a small community is a very, very, very large number.
Well, yeah, but it was in ranging age.
Right.
From probably 6 or 7 to high school.
Mm-hmm.
And parents began keeping their children home from school.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather was the chief of police at the time, and there were 2 kids who had went out to an old hydraulic plant that we have on the outskirts of our village.
Right.
And I guess they were going out there to play around and just be silly, get into things.
Kind of thing we all did when we were kids.
They broke the lock on the old hydraulic plant, and they went in. And I guess it was just a matter of exploration and
well, of course, a hydraulic plant would be a really interesting place to explore as a kid.
Oh yeah, and I mean of course it has been closed down since the early 1900s.
Like cemeteries, they're interesting to explore at night too when you're a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
For the same reason we're here tonight.
Well, they went in there, and in the combine pits, they discovered mutilated carcasses floating in top of the water from the river.
Oh, my
Dozens,
God.
dozens and dozens upon dozens, and the stench, I guess...
Of mutilated corpses.
Yeah, and of course they ran out, and they sent they, of course, you know, they ran to the police station. The chief thought it was a prank, so he sent his deputy down there, and the deputy went in, and he went into one of the rooms that has it's a cylindrical room with just a massive pit in the middle.
Right.
And inside there was just bodies on top of bodies covering the ground, covering the perimeter. And he had his gun outspread. He heard footsteps in there.
I hear that.
And he was terrified. And he was listening, and he could hear whispers and giggling and things such as that. And he walked into the cylindrical room, and he saw movement like a mole burrowing beneath the ground, beneath the carcasses.
Oh, my God.
The deputy decided to be smart and pretended to leave, closing the door behind him.
Yes.
And actually he stayed on the inside of the door and knelt down in the darkness.
And waited.
With his flashlight in one hand and his gun outspread in the other.
Right.
And that's when he heard the footsteps coming up the little ladder. And immediately when he saw the silhouette
coming up out of the pit?
Out of the pit, yes. The ladder out of the pit.
I got you.
Sorry. And immediately when he saw the silhouette appear over the edge,
yes,
he turned on his flashlight, shining the light into the perpetrator's face with his gun spread, and found it to be his own 13-year-old son.
Oh.
And he was sporting a weapon, which we commonly know as a hay knife, I guess.
A hay knife?
They used to bale hay.
Well, that would be a pitchfork, right?
Well, they usually use two, I guess, and they shove the spears into the side of the hay and then bale it up on a truck.
Right.
In bales. Anyway, he told his son, put down the weapon. You don't understand what you're doing. He didn't understand, I guess. Anyway, his son attacked him, and the deputy was forced to shoot him. Well, what came about was a huge cover-up that involved doctors, that involved the police themselves, and the whole town was kind of left in the dark.
And that's what your grandfather was talking about when he said all the children are dead.
All the children are dead.
God, what a story. And that cover-up continues, I take it.
That cover-up continues until I found evidence.
Evidence. Hold on. We'll get right back to you.